everyone, this is Jason Burak for Wall Street for Main Street. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there about whether or not I think China's in a bubble. This is in response to the Wall Street Journal article I just posted on the Wall Street for Main Street fan page. You can go there and read it after you've watched this video blog. The article, though, I'll just summarize the article. The article, though, talks about how China has just raised requirements for deposits on real estate in the last few days. The deposits are now 50% of the value of the property. So China is cutting off any type of real estate bubble at the pass. So there could be a correction in Chinese real estate prices, but it's not going to be severe like the ones here in the U.S. I know for a fact that the FHA is still only requiring a 4% down payment for a humongous loan for real estate. So the Congress and the banks and the FHA and other government agencies are still trying to reinflate the real estate bubble here in the United States. But in order to correctly understand the Chinese, you really need to know how the Chinese think. The Chinese are very, very, very big on history. Look up Needham's puzzle. Needham's puzzle basically is about why China did not industrialize before every other nation in the entire world back in the 14th century. You can read a paper on it online, just Google it, Needham's puzzle. But basically, though, the Chinese are still upset about Needham's puzzle and why they're not on top. So every decision China makes is for the long term, if they think like that. Because of that, the Chinese government in the last few decades has encouraged investment. Just in the last few years, the Chinese government has now allowed Chinese citizens to privately own precious metals. This is something that Chairman Mao never would have dreamed of. In the last year alone, China has now started selling precious metals at its state-run banks and also has government mint stores and is also running precious metal commercials to buy gold and silver inside China on its state-owned cable TV channels. They're encouraging investment. They know that they're importing our inflation because of their dollar peg, their yuan peg. But just give me some feedback. I really don't think China is in a bubble here, guys. I think China's producing a lot. I don't think there's a such thing as overproduction when China's producing capital goods that the rest of the world still needs and wants. And I think the world definitely still needs and wants Chinese goods because their quality is improving. I know I hear knocks about this and that and toys and bad stuff, but I think in general you could say that about the United States too about 150 years ago, that the United States didn't have quality industrial goods that we were producing, and our quality is much better now. I think China is definitely on that same path, and you could see that China's been looking through the history books and is just studying the playbook of the United States industrialization 150 years ago. They're looking at the mistakes that Japan made in the 70s and 80s and why they won't end up like Japan. So I think China will succeed where Japan has basically failed. Thanks. Thanks, guys.